Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the University Without Walls Department of Interdisciplinary Studies at UMass Amherst, I want to welcome you here today and say how honored I am that we can celebrate this special occasion together. I'm Scott Davidson, Associate Provost for Interdisciplinary Programs. This title means that I'm the guy who clears you for graduation, signs your diploma, and will present you as the class of 2026 from the platform at tonight's commencement ceremony. In my presentation, I'll use 3 adjectives to describe you as a graduating class: resilient, compassionate, dedicated to serving the common good. Each of you, through your areas of concentration, coursework, professional aspirations, and life experience, clearly attest to those qualities. You, as members of the class of 2026, are also connected to me in a very personal way. This weekend, my own family is celebrating the graduation of my daughter, who is my youngest child. Our household is also experiencing many of the same emotions as you. Mostly joy, but also pride, excitement, nostalgia, and even some relief. In fact, my wife and I are calling this Liberation Day to celebrate the end of tuition payments. So, earning a bachelor's degree is a significant accomplishment, a distinction that you can carry with pride throughout your life. But nobody gets to this point alone. We all need help to get there. I want you graduates to join me in expressing your thanks and appreciation by applause for the family members, the friends, the support networks, the faculty, staff, advisors, and volunteers who have made this moment possible. Thank you all. What makes today truly special is the opportunity to celebrate your success together with all those people. There's one important idea that I want to share with you today. Your graduation may or may not be the end of your formal schooling, but it cannot be the end of your learning. Instead, it must be the commencement of a new phase of your education. Let me explain this in terms of what's called the doubling rate. The doubling rate refers to the amount of time that it takes for the total amount of knowledge in the world to double. In the 19th century, when UMass Amherst was founded, the doubling rate was about 100 years. This means that the very first UMass Amherst graduates could graduate knowing that though there would be new knowledge, they pretty much have the education and skill set that would serve them throughout their lifetime. But the rise of the information age has changed this dramatically. Do you know what the doubling rate is today in 2026? About 12 months. In just 1 year's time, the total amount of knowledge doubles, and it does that each year. Think about that. Go back to the time when you started at UMass Amherst as a student. Each year, there was twice as much knowledge available than the year before. The paradox is that as a percentage, you know less of the world's total knowledge now than when you began. We all do. Admittedly, this can be pretty overwhelming to think about, but we shouldn't let it discourage us, because we also enjoy unprecedented access to knowledge, to education, and new opportunities to learn. That's why today can't be the stopping point in your learning journey. Your learning must continue to evolve with your own personal growth, your interests, and changes that take place in the world. To convey this commencement of a new relationship to learning, let me put a twist on John Wesley's famous sermon to his Methodist followers, in which he called on them to do all the good you can. Putting a twist on his words, my advice to you is, quote, to learn all you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, with all the people you can, as long as you ever can. Wherever your life's journey takes you, I think this motto will serve you well. Congratulations again. This is your moment. Today you're a college graduate, a member of the UMass Amherst class of 2026. I'd now like to turn things over to one of our department faculty members, Dr. Lisa Modenas. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. So, how's everyone feeling? My name is Dr. Lisa Modinos. My pronouns are she, her. I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate our graduates, and I wish you could see what we see from the stage right here. You're all radiant. How you feeling? I'm gonna take a picture. Can I take a picture? Yeah. Okay, let's get serious now. The UMass Amherst University Without Walls Department of Interdisciplinary Studies was founded 55 years ago in 1971. We were leaders in opening up access to higher ed to non-traditional students and have remained steadfast in our mission to revolutionize the college experience, providing accessible, flexible, innovative, and high-quality educational experiences that honor and validate the knowledge that you gained, both within and outside of the classroom. We're proud that this year we're graduating nearly 200 students, and I'm happy to say that about half of you are here today. And many more are celebrating via live stream from all over the US and internationally. Speaking of which, our graduates and your loved ones have traveled near and far to be with us today. You've come from all over Massachusetts, and some of you made the trip from further away: California, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Maryland, New York, Ohio, Washington, and even Mexico. Gas is not cheap these days. As non-traditional students, you have successfully applied your experience, your learning, and your critical thinking skills in your classes to get you both literally and figuratively to this stage today. It's been a long academic journey for all of you, and each one of you who will soon walk across this stage has a story about barriers, struggles, losses, and successes and achievements that you experienced on your journey to graduation. We know many of you balanced work, home, travel, family, military service, illness, financial challenges while doing your coursework, learning the language of degree planning, Spire, Canvas, and that prior learning portfolio. You've worked as educators, human service professionals, interpreters, medical personnel, first responders, public service, managers, nonprofit administrators, servers, receptionists, career military, business owners, activists, construction workers, writers, farmers, athletes, artists, full-time parents, and so many other ways of making a living and serving your communities. And you did this all while studying algebra, peer reviewing portfolio chapters, checking your ARR and Spire to make sure your gen ed is satisfied, explain all that language to your family, and reaching out to your advisors one more time to ask one more question. And now you're graduating with your bachelor's degrees from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, one of the top-ranked public universities in the nation. Yes. I know I speak on behalf of our faculty and staff today when I thank you for choosing us to help you complete your academic journey. We admire your strength, your discipline, your persistence that carried you to this moment. Congratulations to all of you. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some other important people who are able to be with us today. I'd like to recognize the UWW Interdisciplinary Studies faculty joining us today. For many of you, this may be the first time you meet your professors in person. So please, after the ceremony, consider introducing yourself, taking a picture, and getting connected. Faculty, as I call your name, please stand to be recognized. David Barton. Mitch Boucher. Abigail Dahlman. And on stage with me are Chair Julie Stover. Some of you may be meeting your dedicated academic advisor for the first time. With us here today is Donna Devine and Eric Move. A member of the Friends of UWW Alumni Group to say a few words. Cynthia.
Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, staff, and graduates. On behalf of the Friends of UWW, congratulations, class of 2026. "10 years ago, I sat where you are now, and as the dust settled from the excitement and aftermath of graduation, I began to reflect on how I could not have accomplished this feat alone. Not only was I supported by family and friends, but it was also the incalculable support I received from the UWW Interdisciplinary Studies community, namely faculty, staff, classmates, and alums who gave me their unwavering support and encouragement. So whether it was my advisor who kept telling me to trust the process when I was writing my portfolio, when I wasn't trusting any process, or to the classmates who answered the call on how to pass a statistics course when I hadn't taken a math class in 15 years, to borrow a phrase, it took a village. But my story is not unique, and there are countless stories like mine on how the UWW community rallied around one of its own. Therefore, as a graduate, I felt compelled to pay it forward by joining the Friends of UWW, a group of University Without Walls alumni, faculty, and staff. Friends of UWW hope this is not the last time we hear from you. We ask you to please stay involved. By remaining involved, you have an enduring impact on the continued success of UWW's mission, its current students, and our alumni community. Now, we know how busy everyone is with family, work, and other commitments. But no matter how small or large, every little bit helps. Friends of UWW host events, offers volunteer opportunities both locally and regionally to support outreach and scholarships. This is a great opportunity for you to share ideas and suggestions, learn about upcoming events, and stay in touch. Share your news with former classmates and advisors. So graduates, please stop by the Friends of UWW table on the way out and learn more about us. Join our Friends of UW Alumni Facebook group and pick up your free UWW hat. Our Friends of UWW network is only as strong as those who participate. So please get involved. And again, congratulations, class of 2026.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. At this time, I'd like to introduce our student speakers. Our speakers were chosen through a highly competitive process. As always, we had great difficulty choosing our speakers. Every person who submitted a speech discussed their UMass University Without Walls experience with a lot of love and great passion. Our first student commencement speaker is Ana Jimena Peralta Pedroza. Yes. Okay, hold on. Jimena is a real estate development project manager and a Pilates instructor. Hailing from Mexico City and raised in Florida, this 28-year-old first-generation college graduate is celebrating earning her bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies with a concentration in human resource development and a UWW Academic Achievement Award. Prior to UMass Amherst, Jimena attended Oregon State University. After graduation, she looks forward to starting a master's degree in finance at Brandeis University this fall, and then plans to complete a PhD in finance or economics with a career goal of finance research. Joining her to celebrate are her mother, Ana Maria, her partner, Luis, and his family, while her brother, Roberto, and her 2 dogs will be celebrating in Mexico. Please welcome Jimena.
Seven words. That's how many words in Spanish I'm going to teach you today. La esperanza es lo último que muere. Hope is the last thing to die. This is something my mom has reminded me of time and time again. When I moved to the United States as a young child, I struggled to learn a new language. Everything felt unfamiliar and at times overwhelming. But she kept reminding me to have hope. And sure enough, 6 months later, I began to dream in a different language. Hope has always been there, not just for me, but for every generation before us. Hope for the future and hope for the next generation. University without walls means something different to each of us. It can represent the credit honoring our life and work experience, the flexibility of online classes, or the freedom to personalize our degree. But above all else, UWW, for me, represents hope. It represents a community of students from different walks of life, those returning to school after years away, those balancing careers, families, and responsibilities, and those chasing a degree they once thought was out of reach. Every one of us has a different story, but we all arrived here because of the hope we held on to. For the past 2 years, my dining room table has been my classroom, and I know that many of you can relate. It became more than just a place where family dinners took. It was where early mornings turned into long nights, where assignments piled up, and where motivation sometimes ran low. Most nights I sat there with a big mocha and my 2 dogs beside me. Eventually, they even stopped waiting for me and went to bed without me, which was something that had never happened before. And like many of you, I lost count of how many times I said no to friends and family because I chose to stay in and keep going. But that's when I realized something. Hope isn't just something we talk about, it's something we practice. It shows up in the quiet moments, in the discipline it takes to keep going when no one is watching, in the sacrifices we make, and the belief that those sacrifices will lead somewhere meaningful. Being here today is a reflection of our determination, our grit, and our hard work. But more than anything, it's a reflection of our hope. And now we carry that hope forward. Because if we're being honest, it's easy to become cynical. When we look at the news or doom scroll through social media, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel uncertain, or even to stop caring. Cynicism is easy, hope is not. Hope takes effort, it takes courage to believe that things can get better, and even more courage to be a part of making them better. Hope is not ignorance, it is not naivety, hope is a choice. And more importantly, it is a commitment. The world needs us to be hopeful right now. It needs us to be courageous, to be persistent, and to be stubborn about the lives that we want to build. It needs us to create communities, to support one another, and to believe that better days are not just possible, but worth working toward. So as we leave here today, we don't just carry a degree, we carry responsibility, we carry resilience, and we carry hope. My mom taught me these words early in my life, and today I leave them with you. La esperanza es lo último que muere. Hope is the last thing to die. Let's make sure it never does. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimena. Our next speaker is Joanne Frances Charland. Joanne Frances Charland is a residential service desk coordinator here at UMass Amherst and a volunteer leader for community organizations including Pedal Through Youth and the Down Syndrome Resource Group of Western Massachusetts. Originally from Chicopee, Massachusetts, now living across the river in West Springfield, this 49-year-old first-generation college graduate and former high school dropout is celebrating earning her bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies with a concentration in applied psychology, a UWW Academic Achievement Award, and a 21st Century Leader Award from UMass. Prior to attending UMass, Joanne earned a certificate in human services from Holyoke Community College. After graduation, she looks forward to grad school with a career goal of supporting mental health for students, formerly incarcerated people, and people with disabilities. Joining her to celebrate are her mother, Kathy, her husband, Robert, her two sons, Vinny and Rudy, more family members, and several of her student employees. Please welcome Joanne.
It feels surreal to say goodbye to fellow students who I have never met before. But I suppose we're all in the same boat, brought here by circumstances that shaped our lives and at times delayed this very moment right here. Some of us started college decades ago. Some left to serve our country. Some couldn't afford to continue. Some went on to raise children. I started my college career in 1995 at a community college when I was 18 years old. Over the course of the last 31 years, I stopped, I started, I changed schools 3 times, I decided I didn't want to do it anymore, I changed my major 4 times, I was searching for a word or a phrase that would make this cycle sound purposeful and strategic, but the truth is this journey was messy. It involved side quests, detours, roundabouts with no exits. It involved losing my way and then forging a new path. Like many of you, I found my home here at UWW. I came here not knowing what I wanted to be when I grew up, just that I had to finish what I had started. I'm still not quite sure what I want to be when I grow up, but I have this solid foundation of knowledge that inspires and excites me. We have worked so hard for this achievement, balancing classes, family, work, often all at once. And I know that some of you, like me, wanted to give up. But then we looked at those faces, watching us push through every obstacle, putting in every late night, every ounce of effort. For me, those faces were my 2 boys. They watched me every step of the way, sometimes learning alongside me, and maybe once or twice reminding me how to calculate algebra. To me, this day is not only about us, the graduates, it's about every person that has stepped up to help get us here. It's about the sacrifices they made along the way as well. It's about my mother and my sister quietly encouraging me and picking up the pieces when my life felt overwhelming. It's about my boys, showing them that even from the darkest days, we can lift ourselves up and accomplish things that once felt impossible. It's about my husband. Every late night, I would disappear into another room to study, every time he stepped in to care for his bonus kids, and every time without hesitation. And of course, it's about our professors, the ones who listened to us, guided us, believed in us, celebrated us. My prior learning portfolio spanned 55 pages and held some of the most intimate and vulnerable moments of my life. Each draft was met with compassion, empathy, understanding, and I am not sure I would be standing here today without the encouragement and support of Dr. Medeiros. Beyond my family, faculty, classmates, I also work on campus. I supervise 12 student staff members at one of the residential service desks on the southwest side of campus. I never would have imagined that some of my biggest supporters, and perhaps my loudest cheering section, would be these students. And some are here today. Each spring for the past 4 years, I have said goodbye to my graduating staff. I've watched from the sidelines as they prepared for a moment just like this one. I finally understand that pride, the joy, the overwhelming emotion that comes with one of the most meaningful days of your life. They may never truly understand the impact that they had on my education or how deeply their presence shaped who I am. But I always get to carry that with me. And I'm honored to share this achievement and walk beside them together as the class of 2026. I hope that my journey inspires others to take the leap, to finish what they started but never got to continue. And my wish is that each of you shares your own journey proudly, boldly. You never know who's listening. You never know who needs that little small push of encouragement or whose life you might change by sharing your journey. We did it. Finally. Congratulations.
Thank you, Joanne. Okay, we will now begin the University of Massachusetts Amherst University Without Walls Senior Recognition Ceremony. This is what we're here for today. Natasha will escort you onto the stage. Please hand your card to Joanna to scan and walk to Scott, Julie, and I to receive your commencement medal. Then you'll move in front of the UWW banner on stage to have your photo taken, and a link to the photos will be emailed to you. A reminder to tuck your lanyard into your robe so that it doesn't screw up the picture in the flash. And note that your official diplomas will be, and certificates with your concentrations will be mailed to you in a month or two or so. So, let's go, graduates. Come up on stage.
Ana Jimena Peralta Pedroza. Joanne Frances Charland. Jasmine Olympia Beauchesne. Amber Ward. Amanda Jean McLenathan. Gabrielle Ava Vincent. Danielle Marie Delano. Amanda Marie Bronson. Kimberly K. Bellamy. Sky Joy Donovan. Crystal Peck. Miguel Jose Cruz. Heidi Johanna Preachard.
Spencer Daniel Ross.
Sosna Ercalo. Amanda Maro Ligor. Sean Michael Skelly. Christy Landon. Catherine R. McPartland. Jaiza M. Tavares. Cindy Souza da Silva Belmonte. Francis Arnold. Pasqualina Lucia Mirabito. Sharon Kelly Hanley. Jesse E. Beeland. Damian Terrell Middleton. Cara Beth DeVellis. Rebecca Lynn Renaud. Christina Leanne Richards. Zachary L. Laverne. Naomi Bell Schumann. Janice Mary Berry. Bianca Amber Janazek. Angela Nicole Smith LeClaire.
Yvette Herandia.
Kieran Rossan O'Sullivan. Natsuko Mori. Mary Page Warman. Alexander Joseph Kovarovic. Michael Panza. Lila May Kovacs. Michael Allen Land. Daniel M. O'Connor.
Mao Witham. Demond Edward Snyder. Timothy Lamar Passmore, Jr.
Caitlin Elaine Bosworth. Joseph Thomas Trabucco. Gage Matthew Lishman. Lisette Anton Marchi. Kingsley Quay Mussaper. Liam Patrick Crean. Colin Matthew Woods. Brooke Elizabeth Sample. Katerina Ann Adranya. Genesis Nabil Rosario Torres.
Carolina Belen Malijat.
Tracy A. Willingham. Cassandra Shanice Frohnberger. Casey Lynn Breeds. Rachel Ashley Dufault. Patrick Spain. Megan McKenna Egan Bright. Juliet Tandok Ferreira. Matthew Brooks Hamer. Ravine Carlos Gabriel Ocasio. Matthew Bernard Crisqualo.
Gigi Demaro.
Alexandra T. Watts. Amanda Marion Aldrich. Molly Ellen Anderson. Felicia Marie Bagg.
Christina Marie Neville.
Kate Hutchinson Driscoll. Jonathan Hart Crushell. Faith Bafour Akoto.